Hello. Okay. Yeah. So I know that it's a little bit short notice for this ramble. I hadn't even planned on doing this live, but here we are. Um, so let me see if I can actually see myself here. Uh, I'm now, I should have done this before I started talking, but I don't know. Okay. There. I can sort of see myself. Can I pin my view of myself? There we go. Perfect. Okay. Excellent. So I'm going to answer some questions. I know people have some curiosity about the recent announcements, the transition to Substack. All of that is in process. So, yes, I made an announcement about transitioning to Substack. I have been sort of playing around with this idea for a while. And at the beginning of this year, I was not planning on... I looked at Substack at the beginning of the year, and I was like, it's not really in my wheelhouse necessarily around what I'm heading towards. And at the time, I was struggling between, having Orcus Auditory and Auditurgy and Pleasure Magic Course and all this stuff sort of floating around, trying to figure out how to bring it all together. So I chose to do Mighty Networks, which, I was really looking for an all-encompassing platform that could handle audio and courses and community and really streamline all of it. And, of course, I ended up choosing to go with Mighty, and I worked really hard to get that platform up, and then sort of started getting some feedback from people saying, hey, the listening experience is not super great. And that combined with the sort of just, they're like little things. It just made the user experience a little bit more challenging and a little more clunky. And, as cool looking as it was, it just wasn't quite hitting it just wasn't making it easy in the way that I needed. And then, full disclosure, I go to a really, really powerful energy healing experience with a Reiki practitioner that I've been training with, and I share with her sort of this issue I'm having with trying to bring together these two disparate, separated parts of myself, parts of my work into one thing. And, she sort of tells me a little bit about what's going on in the sort of channel of my energy world. And then we do a meditation, and in the meditation she sort of has us visualize our energy field. And in this visualization, I can see my energy field, and it's being pulled apart on the left and the right in this really painful sort of way. It was really uncomfortable to see. And and so that happened, and then I head home, and I'm just sort of describing this problem to my family, and I get one of my family members sort of very pointedly says to me, you've been trying to do this thing separate for a long time based on reasons that you really don't align with that much anymore. I think you should just put it all together again. Like, just put it all together under one roof, and it will, and that's where you'll go. So then I thought, okay, finally, this is the answer I've been looking for. I know people have been talking to me about this for a long time, and I finally just energetically okay, all right, I'm going to bring it all back under Orcus Auditory, and and make it just super streamlined and simple. Yeah, we do love family like that. It's family members can sort of cut through all the cut through the noise in really spectacular ways sometimes. So, I did that announcement that the last live ramble that I did that announced that I was bringing all the stuff back together. And at first I thought, you know what, I'm going to put all of this on Mighty Networks. I'm going to move off of Patreon and do Mighty Networks. For many of you may know, Patreon has been a real thorn in my side for a long time, mainly because they don't treat their explicit content creators very well. We all are sort of shuffled to sort of a dark corner of Patreon, and they don't release features to us. They're features that they have that they only save for safe for work creators, and yeah, it's sort of like we're an island floating out there trying to build our own website. And I'm just really tired of working with Patreon. I would really love to have more opportunity to connect with people who are interested in my work. So I went back to Substack and I started looking at it again. And I realized that, as I dug into it a bit more, at first I thought Substack was really just about blogging and people subscribing to blogs. But then I see, oh no, they are really investing hard in doing multimedia, audio, podcasting, video. They're really trying hard to round out their feature set to support creators. And not only that, but there are really powerful ways where you can reach new people, and they're not super anal retentive about the explicit material. They really support artistry in that way. So, yeah, I am moving to Substack after a long time looking at it and reviewing it. Moving to Substack is the thing that I'm going to do. And I've already made an announcement about this. You can find the link for it in the previous post, I think, orcusauditory.substack.com. And yeah, you can already see most of the content that I've created is on there. I know there are some pieces of content that are not there yet, and I've been sort of in a debate about how to manage that. But we'll just, I know I solicited some questions about this transition to Substack. So we'll just start diving into those questions and we'll go from there. Okay. Let's see now. Just getting them all set up here. Yeah, Substack, Lenore says, you're very active in posting on Substack. Yes, I am. I actually really love it because you can post these little notes and they don't necessarily go into the deeper sort of content feed of your core publication, but the little notes are just like, it's sort of like tweeting. And I hate x.com. And I'm not a big fan of Threads. And, I mean, Blue Sky is cool, but it's way out there. And a lot of the people I'm trying to reach are not I don't know. Blue Sky is a little bit strange to me. But Substack, it just hits that sweet spot of, I can sort of tweet and I can just put my crazy, weird ideas onto a feed and people will see it. And it all sort of feeds back to what I'm doing right directly there on the platform, which I think is really, really great. Yeah. Okay. So, the first question, will we have to cancel our subscription here, or can that be transitioned to Substack? So, the Patreon, I will not be able to directly transition the Patreon subscriptions to Substack. You would have to cancel your subscription here and then restart it over on Substack. Patreon does not support, Substack does not support tiers in the same way that Patreon does. It does have sort of a set tier thing where, there's the core monthly subscription, and then there's the year you can pay for a yearly subscription, and then they have what's called a founding member subscription, which is sort of like it's a yearly subscription, but you can sort of pay what you want. There's a suggested amount that the creator puts into the founding member subscription, but you don't have to pay that. You can adjust it however you like, but it is generally more than the year-long subscription. So the founding member subscription gets you a few more perks on top of what the normal all access pass would be. In my case, I'm offering people custom audios and custom greetings, one per year, if you join the founding member sort of level. So that's how that works, and it is the core membership subscription. The monthly membership is currently set to $10, and I know a lot of you are paying for the discounted $5 a month level. So I have created a discounted $5 or sort of 50% off promo for those of you who would like to stay at the $5 level. That's totally fine. The link for that is in the post that's before this one. The sort of welcome to the new Orcus Auditory Substack. There's a link there that you can go to if you're somebody who needs to have the discounted rate. So there you go. Can't wait to see what you put up on Substack. Thank you. Signed up. Wonderful. Next question. Is the Orcus content and the Auditurgy type content under two subscriptions on Substack, or everything together? Everything is together. It's all under one roof. The only thing that's separated from the core Orcus Auditory and Auditurgy content is the Pleasure Magic course. So that is a completely separate publication, which I would highly encourage everybody to check out if you want. But that is its own ecosphere where all of the erotic fantasy content and the meditation content and the audit. So I'm now calling it the erotic sort of the Orcus Auditory Erotic Fantasy audios, and the audios for life, which are really just audios that are all about it's sort of like an audio resonance. It's like something that's going to help get you oriented into a mindset that you want to work with, whether it's going to sleep, whether it's working with anxiety or grounding yourself, whether it's, more esoteric things. And then I also have a section on the Orcus Auditory Substack for narration, reading poetry, short stories, whatever that is, and we'll go from there. Yeah, a one-stop Orcus shop. I didn't really realize until I started trying to migrate everything over just how much content there is. So, yeah, 4 years of accumulated content. It's a lot. And it's so interesting going back and re-listening to earlier recordings that I've done. I mean, you can really sort of see how my voice has changed and, I don't know, matured over the years. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let me. I wonder if I can. Okay. Yeah, Lenore, you should be able to rename yourself if you want to. By the way, I think you just have to hit the little 3-dot thing on your name. Okay. The app. I've heard that the Substack app is a little bit more limited than just going to the Substack through your web browser. I did try to set the content so you can access it via the app as well. It makes the front page a little bit more messy, but I'm fine with that if that's what people need who are using the app. Okay. Looking good. Okay. More questions. Oh, yeah. I'm just reading comments now. Looking for questions. Describe the circles. This one got me. This is my autism just shining through. Somebody asked, I described the circumstances of this move to my husband, and the first question he had was whether Orcus will also be posting to Domstack. And my autistic self goes, there's a Domstack? So, and then he went ahead and described all the ways in which Domstack is different than Substack, and then I was like, oh, yeah, all right, that makes sense. Cool, finger guns. All right. Anyway, so. Yeah, you would think that an experienced Dom would have gotten that sooner. Let's see. Little Miss Nerdy says, I would love if the narration audios could be moved over, the safer work ones with cuddling and the like. Yeah, I did not initially move those over yet. I've moved a couple over now. It would help me if, and I would really love to hear sort of which ones in particular people listen to and would like me to move over. There are certain ones that it's like, there's a lot of content, and I really want to move the stuff over that people love and want to listen to. I'm not sure that I'm going to move everything, because in a way there's also an element for me of being able to move Orcus into this sort of this new evolution of who Orcus is and what we're evolving into. So for that reason, I haven't been as quick to move over, the entire Ramble library, for example. I saw somebody ask whether or not we were going to move Rambles over, and I'm open to people offering their feedback or opinions on this. I'm not against moving Rambles over, but I don't know. I would love to sort of have a. I guess I kind of got seduced by the idea of having a little bit of a clean slate with the Substack community, because Substack is going to be its own beast with a whole new group of people that I'm tapping into. I could have a Ramble section on the Substack. Yeah. Sort of a from the studio section. Okay, let's see. Oh, so Becca is saying, so this is going to sound a bit weird. I'm saying in case anyone else is feeling it too. I think this is a brilliant development. Totally get it and will gladly move. But this Patreon has been such a safe space, such a liberating space that leaving and ending my subscription is going to feel really strange and a little sad. I find certain audios and see my own comments from 2 years ago and reflect on how I've changed since then or how I felt in that moment. There's comfort in the familiar, and the new can be disconcerting. It feels a bit like leaving a room where you felt safe and also had a lot of fun and closing the door behind you. Can't stay there forever, and the new room is very similar but better, but somehow you still feel sad. What can I say? My neurodivergent brain can be a bit odd with transitions, so this might just feel a little bumpy. See you on Substack soon. Yeah. There's definitely a melancholy, sort of oh, yeah, this Patreon has been such a special place for a long time. I remember just starting this Patreon, not knowing anything about what I was doing, and when I got my first subscriber, I was so happy. And yeah, it's been such a wonderful ride since then. And the Substack is there's more to do, more available through the Substack that I feel. There's already a community sort of chat thread there that if you want to post and not necessarily be restricted to just comments to be able to communicate with people, that's available too. Yeah. People are saying I could have a oh, hello Smudge, welcome. Yeah, so people are saying maybe I could have a little Orcus Auditory vault or archive. I think Substack actually does have an archive feature, and I'm not sure exactly how it works yet, so I might have to investigate that. Maybe that's where the rambles could live. Okay, I think that's all the questions I've seen on this one. Let's see. Future rambles and replays. Yeah, I do plan on posting future rambles and replays. I was gonna do. I was really thinking seriously about moving live Storytime lives to Substack because Substack has a live feature. It's amazing, except that for whatever reason, Substack Live does not support my audio equipment. So that's a big, sad development. But I don't know. I'm sure that I'll be able to repost the live. I'm sure I can actually host the live replays on Substack directly as opposed to having to post them on YouTube and then embed them, which is a real pain in the bootay. Don't you call my mic rubbish. Okay. You're only hearing me in your left ear. Testing 1 2. Nope. This is the only one. This is the only mic that's active. I'm not sure what's going on with that. Okay. So I answered the past rambles and lives, transition to Substack. I guess the past replays, the live replays, I think those are just going to have to live on YouTube. Because I manually put in the link, the embed for every single replay on the Patreon posts. And to do that, however many hundreds of times. I would have to go through every single replay to do that. To put a posted Substack would be a real, that would be a lot. So, yeah, I think one of the cool things about Substack too is that it is much more writing friendly. So I'm getting to flex a little bit of my, my English major chops again. I was a poetry major in college. I was invited to do the MFA program for poetry, but I didn't have the money. So I didn't end up doing it. I have always just looked like this. I've always had a gray beard, even when I was a student in college. No. Okay. All right. Question. You have talked about how Matt Mason's "Put It On Me" song when with a person. Do you have any others? Oh, you mean a song to listen when getting into the mood with yeah, songs to get you in the mood. "Put It On Me" by Matt Mason, great one. Let's look at my Spotify list. I've been, oh man, for a really dramatic, like cinematic. I just discovered this new artist, Rock Nardin. I think he's Eastern European. Roknardin. His music is very. I love writing to that stuff. I'm having fun with it, especially writing the script for this month's request. Maybe my getting in the mood song should be "Eye of the Tiger." Oh my God. All right. Yeah. Okay. Let's just keep going. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that one. 2 questions. I'm not seeing the erotica section on OA Substack on my phone or tablet, but it's there on my laptop. Is this because I have... No, it's because of the app. The Substack app does not support sections for some reason. I think it's probably just they need to update it or something. What you need to do is you need to go to the browser, the phone browser, go to orcusauditory.substack.com, and then you'll see the sections. And for the erotic audios, I'm not sure I'm going to add those to the main page for the app, because I would like to sort of make at least a little bit of a separation between the erotic fantasy work and the sort of narration and audios for life stuff, just for people who want to have that level of separation. So if you do want to access the fantasy audio work via the phone, you'll have to do it through the browser. And I think there also should be the ability to I'll have to check, but I think you should have the ability to take the RSS feed link and you can put it into whatever podcast app you use, and you can then create playlists and shuffle stuff around, and you can have all the audios there in a you can have all the audios there. So I think that's possible. You can look into Substack to see how you can do that. I'm very happy with how it's all going right now. Yes, actually, I think Substack it's a breath of fresh air in a desert. Wait a second. It's a drink of cold water in a desert. I've really been getting into malapropisms lately. Oh my God. Okay. That's a good one. The other question is, once you decommission the Patreon and Auditurgy, will there be a way for people to still find and join Sanctuary if they'd like? So we're talking about the unofficial community Discord. We can we'll talk offline about where that link can live. We'll talk about it. So, let's see. What else have we got? No questions. I'm impressed by how you're arranging and presenting your work to better suit the platform. I'll happily listen to you rave about the new playground once the replay is up, and now I must sleep. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no, I'm very excited and happy about Substack. It's fun too, because I can come up with really wacky, like, little poetic ideas at 3 a.m. and just post them and then wake up, again 4 hours later and wonder what the heck I was on, and then delete it in embarrassment. That's how it always works, right? What are you most looking forward to in the upcoming months? I'm most looking forward to just simplifying everything. My current thinking with the Patreon is that, as long as people are here and paying for a subscription, I'm not going to get rid of the Patreon until people really start to transition away from it. But what I am probably going to do is I'm going to set a date for when I'm going to stop posting to it. And you will just find all of the most recent posts that I do, all the lives, all the red light lives, all the storytime requests, all the replays, all that stuff will start appearing on the Substack instead of here, along with all the other content. Let's see. What do I keep in my desk drawer? Well, my desk doesn't really have a drawer. But in the drawer that's down there, I have printer paper and a stapler and I think some wall sticky things to hang my sound proofing foam. So that's cool. And then the drawer below that, I have a bunch of my tools. A drill and screwdrivers. So there you go. Oh yeah, Post-its. I have Post-its in the top drawer. Let's see. The next question is a question about exercise routines. Like, do you have an exercise routine? In all of the rambles I've ever done, no, I don't think anybody has ever asked me, what do I do to stay active or work out? Which has probably been fine by me, because I'm a terrible example of what to do about this. I'm terribly inconsistent these days, probably because I have 2 small children. I used to be really into CrossFit. And I did that for about 4 years, and I tried to, I don't know. Yeah. I thought about competing for a while. I was really into watching the CrossFit games, And then I realized with my size, there was nobody, none of the top performers, top competitors in CrossFit were my size. None of the, like, all those guys were, like 5'8" or 5'7", and and could just knock out pull-ups like crazy. And for me, it is so much distance to do a pull-up, and do squats. So that those hopes were quashed. And then I think more, I guess, just not to waste too much time. I got my shoulders hated me, my knees hated me. Like I started developing little injuries through CrossFit that didn't feel good. So then I started following Ido Portal, if you don't know who Ido Portal is, you should just Google him on YouTube. He's a relatively well-known pioneer in movement technique, where he's trying to kind of take all of the movement ideas that humanity has created and put them all into a single unified philosophy, and making movement a meditative thing. And it's really cool. I enjoy the Ido Portal method. There was a gym that I went to when I lived in Colorado that followed it, and it was really easy to go to classes and keep working on that stuff. But since I moved back to the Pacific Northwest, I have not kept up with it. And yeah, I mean, I like going to yoga classes. I do Qigong at home. I have a little weight set in my garage that I use every once in a while. I generally work out just to sort of keep myself from going completely sedentary, just to kind of keep things moving. I like going for walks. I think this will probably change as I have a little bit more bandwidth. But I'm not. I unfortunately don't. Yeah, I'm not super hardcore about movement like a lot of people are and a lot of people preach. I really just support movement as a function of mental health, of just, going for walks every day is a really, really great thing. At minimum. Yes, the dad bod. That's definitely real. Yeah. I have gained a little bit of weight since I used to go shirtless for certain TikToks that I've done in years past. Unfortunately. Okay. Well, there's no more, it doesn't look like there are any more hard pressing questions about the transition or any of that stuff. Let's see. So I think relatively soon, probably I'm thinking the beginning of September, I'm going to be discontinuing posting on the Patreon. If any of you who have already made the switch over to Substack, and I'm going to post this replay on Substack as well, but any of you who have made that transition over to Substack, if you see if you see something that's missing that you really want to be there, please let me know. You can comment it, you can DM me, you can post it in the Substack chat. I will see it. There's not a whole lot of activity these days, so I'm not getting overwhelmed every single day with messages. But based on the follower and subscriber numbers that I'm already seeing over on Substack, things are growing, and things are growing quickly. So be prepared for more people to appear in the community. But yeah, message me if you have any concerns, questions, comments, whatever it is. I'm open to it, and I'm very excited. This is like, it's like everything is fresh and new again, like it was 4 years ago. And I feel like, while I've been sort of trying to figure myself out, it's just it's a nice way to simplify everything, bring it all back together. Substack is massive, and there's a huge opportunity for me to reach new people. So, yeah. All right. I'm sending you all my deepest love. I appreciate all of you, and thank you for sticking by me for so long. And here's to the new era. All right. I will talk to all of you very soon. All right. Bye, everybody.